And we are live, episode number 10 of the Young and Hungry FireCast with my homeboy, Jay _Azeltine. What's up, brother?
_Azeltine. Dude, I fucking love that you got that started. It's all over Instagram and Twitter now. I love it.
It's branded, man. So I actually have a shirt that says Jay, and it literally spells out _Azeltine for president.
Is that one of the new Ivy Elite shirts?
That's it, the new Ivy Elite shirts. I just don't know. I don't know if I like either person running for president. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going for Jay. I'm pulling for underscore here.
You write me in. I love it. I love it, dude. So we're 13
Jay,
days.
what? 13 days, bro.
Dude, 13 days out from Venice. Like this morning, I was driving to the gym, and it kind of like sunk in that we're that. I think it was a post that Dustin made on Instagram.
That caught my attention too.
He was doing the double front bicep or whatever the fuck it's called, and Zach's sitting here eating a banana. I'm fucking jealous.
Carb life.
We'll get into the diet here in a second, but yeah, I saw Dustin with the double front bicep with some old dude on Muscle Beach, and it got me hyped. Like it kind of got real. It kind of sunk in that we're only 13 days away, and I mean we're only like 8 days away or 9 days away from actually flying out. Which in its own right is going to be sick because I've never been to LA. I don't think have you been to LA?
Dude, I've never been further west than Colorado.
Yeah, so just a trip there in general, excluding the whole shoot and all the other cool stuff, like just going and seeing the city is going to be sick.
Dude, I'm super excited. I plan on documenting the whole thing. I got my daily grind.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
The grind. I think I'm on episode 7 or 8, so I'm doing one every single day. So I'm super excited, obviously, to get Jay on there and Corey, and basically it's going to be like a 5-day podcast. Basically, when we get together, every time us three get together, it's nothing but straight knowledge bombs and sharing ideas, and it's just really cool. Obviously to work with Corey and to work with Jay. We all come from a little bit of a different background. Corey's older, Jay and I are younger, so just the ideas that can get flowing when we're all together. Just we all add value to each other, which is super.
You're gonna need a lot of phone storage, bro. If you're doing it, you're logging all that.
I might invest the camera, dude, because I don't think the camera needs to be on us 24/7.
It does. This is why we need a full-time video guy.
Dude, I know. So I'm trying to get Tyler full time, but he just makes too much money freelancing. He does like $1,500, $2,000 a week freelancing. I'm like, I ain't quite that level.
Yeah, we can't quite pay you that much yet. Soon.
Oh,
soon,
dude. I'm about to though. As soon as I get to that level, I want the video on me all the time, man. 'Cause I was like yesterday, I was on phone calls with clients, so a little bit of sacrifice I made from other work yesterday is I made sure I called. Because my guys are, they're meatheads, right? My clients, and we never get on calls like we're supposed to, and they get busy. They have a family life, shit just comes up. And so yesterday, 2 days ago, I hit these guys up, and I'm like, listen, motherfuckers, because this is how I talk to my team. I'm like, the guys who call me every week, and we set up phone calls and send me their 3 video critiques every week, are seeing more progress. I ran the stats. They are seeing more progress. If you're not calling me every week, we have to set up calls. So basically, I just like, boom, I chopped the axe, right? So anyways, I was on calls all day with guys, and I spent literally like 7 hours on the phone. I was all hyped up, right? But I feel like even though there was no instant gratification in it, I feel like I got through to a lot of guys and helped motivate guys mentally and kind of like helped a few things with their form and stuff. No instant gratification, but I do believe a few days down the road or a few weeks down the road, just that one phone call could potentially change, their life, or they could have that motivation distilled in them to change somebody else's life, or just that one cue I gave them on their squat might jump their squat up 30 pounds. So that's what I think is so important with the phone calls.
Dude, it's the small things, like you just said. Like, you never know what a small gesture of like positivity or just doing
kindness
the calls. You never know what kind of effect that can have on someone else's life, and then they can affect someone else's life. Like, it's a domino effect, so you really never know the effect you're having on someone else. So going out of your way and doing stuff like that's key. But like you said, it's kind of similar in my coaching is the guys that actually document their meals for me in Google Docs and share that with me every single day. Those are the ones that see the most weight loss, and those are the guys that I can tell are the most disciplined and the guys that want it the most. Whereas the guys that aren't logging their meals and they're coming up with excuses as to why they're not logging their meals, usually aren't making as much progress and they're cheating on the diet. But then again, there are guys that don't log them as much and are still, I know, grinding. Like I have a couple guys that are both own businesses. One of them's Abe, the other guy's Chris, and both of them listen to the show. And I know that they're both so busy that they don't always log their meals. And those two guys I can count on, though, to still be disciplined. And I just know for a fact that they're grinding, they're doing what they need to do. So
they both own businesses?
Yeah, one of them.
You see that direct correlation? they both are mature enough, obviously.
Exactly.
To
Yeah.
be ballers, own businesses. So it's like you have to necessarily.
Mhm.
I'm not saying babysit, but actually you don't have to babysit these guys because they already have that
They're
fire and that
inherently,
hustle in them.
they already got it, because they, to get to that point and have successful businesses like they do, they obviously have to have some self-discipline and so forth. And being older guys, usually when you get a little bit older, you have more self-discipline and so forth, so I don't have to babysit them. But yes, I have some younger guys that in the past, not really so much current clients, but in the past I've had guys that didn't log their meals, didn't do exactly what I told them to do or suggested, and they didn't see the results as well. So just same thing with you.
Which is so
Not
hard
setting up
about the
calls.
dieting. That's why I've always avoided it so much, setting diet, because this guy's just never. I would like totally overprice it for simple fact that I just hated doing diets.
Yeah.
I just rather just make somebody strong because the reason with the diets is you only have those select few people, which obviously it's like you're getting that demographic of people who truly are going to follow that diet 100%. And then are going to come. The people who don't are going to come back to like, oh, I ain't seeing results. Like at the end of the day, I'm putting my name on you. Like, boom, I'm stamping you. Like you are part of my team. Like I need you to come through, not for only for myself, but mostly for you to be better. But if you're only half-assing it, bro, you're looking bad on me now. Now it's my team looks bad.
Yeah, no,
We
I
can't
agree.
be team win a day if you're losing. You
Yeah,
follow
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You're not just representing yourself, like in a sense, especially if you're
representing the team.
If you talk about it on social media, that means you're representing me as well. So like I have an invested interest in that.
Which obviously you post videos and pictures of your guys like, almost weekly. Like the transformations are fucking nuts. You're like, what? This
It's
dude's
always
looking.
dude. It's always that is the best feeling when you get that transformation picture from someone and they usually send a big letter with it saying how thankful they are
So they're
for
like,
everything.
obviously I can physically see it, but some of the guys like they have a hard time. You have a hard time because you see yourself every day. Like I don't really feel no bigger. I guess she's like, Ashley's like, even though she sees me every day, I think she's just trying to boost my ego a little bit. So she's like, man, Zach, your chest is looking big, and I'm like, oh hell,
Yeah, no, I tell clients that all the time. Like it's hard for you because you see yourself every day. You see yourself in the mirror. It's kind of hard to see the small, subtle differences. Same thing with me. Everyone's the same way. But when other people are giving you feedback, and especially positive feedback, and even negative feedback is good as well at times, that's when you really know like the effects are starting to take place, and you're actually doing something. And that right there always lights a fire under your ass, dude. And that just motivates you so much to continue to push harder and harder.
Yeah, speaking about that, the negative feedback, though, only take it from certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take negative feedback from fucking everybody because the whole world wants to knock you down, right? It got to be constructive criticism because I have a hard time even taking that, but I take it from people who I know at the level to give it to me. I won't take a negative response from somebody who's just a fucking random dude at the gym. I get guys at the gym all the time. Oh, this, and I hear this all the time. You're like so small. It's crazy how you lift so much weight. I'm like, and that still fucking pisses me off. I'm like,
Fuck yeah, it does.
I know I ain't big, motherfucker, but it still pisses me off saying I'm small because I don't think I'm like tiny.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not like the normal bodybuilder. I know my frame shouldn't look like it could squat or deadlift 700 pounds. But same sense, it's like sometimes you hear that negative energy, and so usually it's just one bad apple that can ruin the rest, right? So watch who you take that constructive criticism from. Obviously, your coaches, maybe mentors. Like I like getting constructive criticism from my mentors, even from Jay. Like me and Jay on a phone call, and he's like, "Hey Zach, we should try this, or you should try this." Yeah, that makes sense because I value his opinion. Don't value everyone's opinion.
Yeah, and on the other side of the spectrum, you can't have a bunch of yes men around either. That's
yes,
like, you know
exactly.
what I mean? That's the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Mike
like,
Tyson, bro.
Yeah.
Think about
Did
it.
all the
Mike
time.
Tyson made all that money in one night. Jay-Z's talking about it, but yet everyone around him was a yes man. So everything around him, no one's there to check him. Mm-hmm. So basically, Mike Tyson, boom, makes all this money. Now he's out partying, doing coke, just being nuts, right? Mm-hmm. But everyone around him was encouraging it. You need someone around you who puts you in your place, like, chill out, motherfucker. You need to stay your lane. You might have a big head right now, but you got to make sure you stay humble, hold your composure. That's what's so good about having a significant other who can like bring that out of you, or having even a friend that can bring that out of you.
I'm sure a significant other is the best way. I'm sure Ashley keeps your ass in check all the time.
Yo, Ashley don't give a fuck about Zach Homol. When I come home, if the dishes need done, she's like, Zach, get the dishes.
Well, that's what Corey always talks about, man. He talks about how he credits a lot of his success to his wife Rachel because she always checks him. She makes sure his ego doesn't get out of order. Like she'll make sure.
Dude, she's awesome. Every time I see her, she's a super awesome girl. She's Corey definitely has a winner, and I think that's obviously if you're a baller, if you're in an entrepreneur life, you need to have a significant other who just understands it, who's a baller in her own sense. Like, if she's a baller, she does her own thing. She does all those plyo stuff. I watch her on Corey's site. She's like, dude, this girl's like 30 times better shape than I am.
100%. If you need one, if you it's kind of about being self-aware though, because like John, for example, Fosco, I know he's single and he's murdering it. So it's again all comes back down to being
You
self-aware.
definitely don't need. I don't think you ever like,
But
especially
some
if the
people I think
mindset
it
like
helps a lot though.
it definitely helps. I know it
Yeah.
keeps my ego in check, but at the end of the day, I'd still be able to do what I
Mm-hmm.
do. I think, but she enhances it. She almost she makes
Yeah.
it better. I mean, it's just like having a mentor almost.
Yeah,
for
for sure. I think it does come down to the self-awareness there too, because everyone's so much different. But all right, Zach, I want to hear about your past week, dude. Since we're getting so close to shoot, you called me yesterday. You started telling me about your diet a little bit, and we didn't get quite into it. So I'm excited to hear.
Guys, don't let Jay lie to you. I called him. He's like, "Yo, I gotta go. I'm busy." I'm like, all right, man. Shit. So he didn't
This
give me the
guy,
time of day.
but you were texting me though. I want to hear specifically about the whole week, but I want to hear about your carbs. You said you increased your carbs and you actually started to look better. So I'm interested because you hadn't told me yet.
Okay, so Jay and I were on the phone. Actually, so I lied a little bit. We did talk about so I'm like asking him, what's going on? I feel like I'm not losing as much. A little bit of stubborn belly fat at the bottom. I'm trying to cut that for the shoot a little bit. Also trying to keep my strength up. Maybe up my fats. What are we doing, Jay? To cut more carbs. He's like, you know what? I'm not too sure. Right now, you're kind of like, your body's, we're trying to learn my body. Like, Jay gets me shredded fast, but I need to pull 600 pounds.
Zach's kind of a conundrum because one, he needs to be super strong still because he wants to get picks, lifting a fuckload of weight, but he also his body's way different than mine and a lot of people I work with because in the sense of he needs way more carbs. It's a very interesting happy medium here with him wanting to stay strong but also leaning out, and then his body needing more carbs just in general. So it's quite a conundrum, but I enjoy the challenge of helping him.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny because like I'm basically trying to tell Jay to do the impossible. Everyone's like, I want to be shredded and deadlift 900 pounds. Like it doesn't always work that way. You need to be carrying some body fat, but I'm literally trying to do it.
You're a freak though, so I believe in you.
So we get home, we go ahead and look out. We seek a mentorship. Obviously, we hit Corey up, and Corey's like, dude. So the old school, like I told him too, like during the photo shoot, I just didn't feel like I had the pump I usually have. And me and Jay were even talking about it. He's like, the last shoot we did, Jay's like, dude, you don't have the same pump. Like I remember you sent me pictures, or
I've seen you just driving with the stupid ass pump.
With the stupid pump, and I think it was, I might have got 1,000 grams or 2,000 grams of carbs the morning of, the night before we carb loaded too. But I'm used to holding 600 grams a day to function. So Corey's like, dude, you might be like one of these old school bodybuilders. They would like carb load 3 to 5 days out from a show, like fucking 5 sweet potatoes with every meal, or 5, rice.
Dude, I'd be
all day,
600 pounds if I did that.
And carb load, obviously, while you're cutting back on your, still doing a little bit of a water cut. So I just kind of started doing that, messing with it, and I just did rice, white rice. Like basically, I don't know how much, like a handful, right? A couple of scoops of white rice. I don't really measure my stuff. I think I cooked like it had been 4 cups cooked of white rice. But I did that yesterday with every meal, so whatever that, I like 6 or 8 meals, so like 2/3 of a cup with every meal with my chicken, and then I had some blueberries. But anyways, dude, I woke up today. Obviously, I felt great. My performance was high yesterday. But I haven't woke up. I did this last 2 days, actually. I woke up leaner than I have yet by adding the carbs back in. So it's almost like I tricked my body so much. I said, no carbs, and it went into shock. It was like, dude, so it's holding on to that fat because it's thinking.
Sometimes that happens, man. Like you can go too far. And Corey, as soon as he got back from vacation, he tried to go full keto almost. And cut all of his veggies out, and his body didn't react well. And I've been there as well before. So it's not as simple as just cutting all your carbs out and you just start dropping weight like you've realized there.
And that's why he said, he goes, dude, this shit's a fucking mind game. He goes, it's literally like, it takes years to learn it. You're not going to learn from 1 shoot or 2 shoots. It takes, Corey has fucking like 12 carbs. He's been like 1 million shoots. So it takes time to learn. My girlfriend's friends.
It's funny though you say that because I talked to him this past week and he was saying like, He's cut so many different times, but his cut this time is different than it's ever been, and I'm starting to realize that too. My cut's way different than the last one. Every single time you cut, it's going to be different because your body's going to be in a different. It's just it doesn't work the same. Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. I got a little bit diet mind right now, guys. Bear with me, but yeah, it's going to be different every single time. So he's like, people think it's black and white, but you got to just experiment and try to figure out how your body best reacts this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Some guys just can't do like a keto diet. Some guys do better off carbs. I know there's one guy here in town, Derek. He's a bodybuilder. He do like 310 in the off season, massive, right? Because my coach knows he has to feed me going on the stage. Going into a show. I'm actually eating way more than what most people are eating. I'm an exception to the rule. So there's so many different ways, obviously, to go about it. And basically, it comes down to self-awareness and knowing your own body. Mm-hmm. But I know Jay is like. He's taking in negative carbs a day right now, getting shredded. So, Jay, this hit on you.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how you're even on the phone right now. I'd be so foggy having like the carbs you're at right
Oh,
now.
dude. Plus the whole medical thing I found out last week already was causing my brain to be foggy all the time. So going low carb just makes it a million times worse. But I'm trying to grind away 2 more weeks. Yeah. So the past week though, just to kind of just dive into it. As you guys saw, I picked up the Carb Life shirts on Monday. I was fucking hype. They came out
Dude,
literally how I
they are
envisioned them.
so sick, bro. The Carb Life shirts look awesome.
They are legit exactly like I envisioned them a few months ago when I started working with John, the artist. Exactly how I wanted them. They came out on the shirts perfectly. The shirts are dope. They're super high quality, like I talked about. Just everything came together. Now I'm very pleased with them. So I started shipping those out. I'm starting to see them on social media now, which is really cool. People are starting to post pictures with them and cool stuff like that, which for me is the best marketing, of course, but it's also really cool to see people enjoying the shirts. So that's going well. I'm trying to figure out ways I want to market the shirts and branch out to really increase the sales as time goes on. So that was exciting early in the week. Diet wise, that's kind of been the main focus this week as we're 13 days out. Honestly, I think I let my weight get up way too much between the last shoot and this shoot, just because I
Play had
thought
nothing to do with the Carb Life.
no, it really didn't though. Like it did in a sense, but what I posted, I was eating like 2 or 3 times that at night. Plus, I was doing protein shakes in the day with like protein or with peanut butter in them and flaxseed. So I was trying to gain weight. Honestly, it was on purpose. But that weekend I came and kicked it with you. We were fucking eating gyros and stuff, and
Yeah.
my weight got a little bit up. And I honestly was I think a little bit overconfident, thinking my weight would come down a lot quicker. So I've been strict now. I think I was at your place 3.5, almost 4 weeks ago, and I've been going pretty strict ever since then, getting more strict almost every week. And just these past 3 days, I'm starting to look like I want to look like being 2 weeks out. So it's been kind of like a nerve-wracking cut, and I've had to go really strict. About 10 days ago, I started going pretty much not ketogenic, but damn close. I'm about 50 to 60 grams of carbs a day. Doing anabolic fasting still, so I'm still fasting 16 hours. But basically, the only carbs I've been getting are from basically mixed veggies, nuts, and then other than that, I would say twice now in the last 10 days I've done a carb load. 3 or 4 days ago I did a sweet potato. Today I did post-workout banana and honey to kind of see how my body reacts because I can tell my blood sugar is all jacked up. But yeah, so it's been mainly meat, nuts, and veggies. And I cut out mixed veggies a few days ago, and now I'm just going strictly non-starch, low-carb veggies, which cuts down the carbs even more, almost in half. So it's getting tighter and tighter, but again, my body's...
So what are a few this for guys like in my realm of things? What are a few like low starch veggies?
Yeah, let me pull up the list for you because the ones that I was eating was really only peas and corn. I believe peas is on the list. I'm going to pull it up real quick though. But yeah, it's mainly corn though because a lot of people that's something that a lot of people really enjoy. Corn is
that's
also
high starch.
Yeah. Corn definitely has a lot of starch to it. Plus, it's a higher carb veggie in general. All right, let's see here. Starchy veggies include corn, peas, parsnips, potatoes. I don't know how to fucking parsnip. What is that?
No clue. Never had one.
Potatoes, pumpkin, squash, zucchini, and yams, which are sweet potatoes, which are my fucking jam.
Those are high starch?
Those are all high starch. And then the lower non-starch are lettuce, asparagus, broccoli, cauliflower, cucumber, spinach, mushrooms, onions, peppers, tomatoes. And when you're trying to cut weight, staying away from starchy veggies is definitely a good idea. It's going to be a lot easier. Staying away from things like sweet potatoes, corn is definitely going to help accelerate the weight loss process. So again, coming back to me this past week, I cut out the starchy veggies. I'm purely low carb veggies right now with no starch to them. So that's definitely started to accelerate the weight loss. So again, I'm starting to get now to the point where I want to be, but I've still got a lot of work to do these last 13 days. It's made it way harder going as low carb as I have been. Again, this prep has been complete. I'm doing anabolic fasting just like I did for the last shoot, but it's been completely different. That last prep, I came in a lot leaner. I started about 170. The prep started about 170, whereas this prep started about 178. So I put on a little bit more weight than I should have. But that last prep, man, I was doing like 2 bananas and peanut butter up until that last week. That was one of my carb meals every single day. And like I said, I've gone the last 10 days with only 2 carb meals in total, including today. So it's been completely different. But in a sense, staying positive, it's kind of taught me like, a different way to do anabolic fasting, which will help me with clients if I have a client that's not losing weight on the normal anabolic fasting. So in a sense, it's been good. I'm experimenting with a different type of anabolic fasting, so it's going to be good from a knowledge sense. Other than that, though, man, the week's been really good. Getting really excited for Venice. My house continue to progress, and business is continuing to grow. The online training, I'm excited about this month. It's got off to a really good start, so I'm going to try to have a hell of a month here.
Nice, dude. So obviously, for those who don't know, Max Effort Muscle is dropped. It's officially dropped this morning, 5 a.m. So you can go ahead and place your pre-order now. For those who don't know, we'll be shipping out October 1st. Build your stack. So basically, you can build a stack for $99 or $100. You build a stack, you get 3 products of your choice. So we have a fat burner, a BCA, and a pre-workout, right?
That BCA is bomb as fuck, by the way. I haven't had the pre yet. I'm sure it's amazing.
And the pre, dude, it's crazy how good everything mixes up.
Yeah.
The pre-workout and the BCA, obviously the fat burner's a pill, but dude, they mix up so light, so thin. Dude.
I can just see Corey, and like I'm envisioning him as like a mad scientist in a lab, stirring that shit up.
This is how we gotta go, like all crazy. But dude, it's super cool. You can get 3 products of your choice, for that, which I don't see no one
That's
else
a steal.
doing that, And you get swag with it. You get a T-shirt with your stack. So definitely jump on the stack. You can get 2. You can mix and match. You can get 3 fat burners. If you need fat burners the next 3 months, you get BCA, pre-workout. So of your choice, that's super cool. Something super authentic that we're offering. But on top of it all, dude, you go to maxeffortmuscle.com. It's a content site. Literally, we do technique dailies every single day. You're going to get a knowledge bomb from Corey or from myself or from Clay, and they're all stored in there too, right? And then you're going to get one from Travis, from John's doing a Q&A show for business. Clay has a show. Dustin has a show. Dustin has a cooking show. I have a Pure Powerlifting Q&A show. Corey has a Corey G show, which is overall fitness and business. So we're all doing Q&A shows, and Dustin's doing a cooking show. The amount of knowledge and education,
content.
Like the amount of content on this site, guys, is like, it's just dropped. Like, we just got to alert up and running like just recently, and it's so fucking like Jacob and Jake killed it on the site. Those guys that activate, they totally murdered it. The site looks phenomenal, so easy to navigate through. And the amount of content on there, like, dude, it's nuts. It's like it's legit content. It's coming from real motherfuckers too.
Dude, no one in the industry, like no supplement company or just individual or group can even touch that. You know what I mean? Like, just from a content
it's like
standpoint.
we're speaking, and that's it, dude. We're speaking us to that demographic. So we're speaking that old school, that raw mentality. You can see it in the articles and the Q&A shows. Like, it's not faked or pushed. You can tell that when it's like, when I go on bodybuilding.com and I'm reading these articles, I'm like, this is fucking retarded. Like, or watching their like how-tos and different things. I'm like, this guy he's telling me to breathe out as I'm extending on my bench press. I'm like, what, motherfucker? That's not how you lift. So you're getting real content from real lifters. Like, and the UFC fighters, you're getting real content from real motherfuckers. Dustin, RTC coach, right? So he's he played a huge part in Kyle Snyder's Olympic gold medal, right? So you got quality caliber coaches and athletes giving content daily. The site's dope. Just on top of the supplements, there's so much knowledge, education on it. So such an awesome thing to be a part of. I'm pumped it finally dropped. I'm like, every day I'm like, Corey, what do I need to do, bro? Where do you need me? We're on these calls. Like, dude, I'm ready. You need me somewhere? I'll go there right now. I'm just super hyped to be a part of it and put myself in, I've been doing it, put myself in right positions and right situations, right times, and continuing to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's exciting. And just from like a branding standpoint, all the free content is so key. Like that's something very similar as to what they did at Muscle Farm. I think was they gave out so many free workouts and just so much free content. Like, people were attracted to that, and then they would, while they were there, basically absorbing all this content, then they would buy the product. So it's like you give out that content, and you ask, or you basically give before you ask. You give all this free content, and all this content is worth a lot of fucking money, man. Like, people pay good money for all this content, so then you're giving all this away, and then you're asking, hey, we have these products if you're interested. So it's like you give before you ask, and that was something he always told me about. That's something he always told me while we were at Muscle Farm, is that we want to give before we ask, and that's like a huge branding thing, I think.
That's it, adding value, adding quality. I see these people, these Instagram models who have fucking 3 million followers, and all they do is show their ass or show their abs. Mm-hmm. You're not providing no value to me. I don't give a fuck to follow you. Literally, if I want to look at someone cool, I'll just go Google bodybuilders and I'll look it up on images, right? I don't need you popping up my timeline all the time. I'm looking for I'm looking for some type of value. Even if I follow people on Instagram, it's like, what kind of value can you bring to me? So
Yeah,
that's something we're doing. We're bringing value. When you bring value to someone else, they want to give back.
yeah,
And
the
like, dude,
business will come.
and the fact that we're real athletes and real people giving with real results using these products, why would you not want them?
I don't
You know
think,
what I mean?
yeah, I don't think we have any idea, and even Corey himself, I don't think any of us have any idea how big max effort muscle is going to actually be. You know what I mean? I think
The
it's going to be
potential.
way, way bigger than
Because
anyone can ever fathom.
that's it, man. It's a team. It's like, dude, we're
Mm-hmm.
looking at the way, like, we're building this team of like the max effort muscle team. Everyone in the world, who wants to be a part of this team, like, you're a part of the community.
Mm-hmm.
With the questions that, like, constantly you're getting, featured. You do the Q&A show, everyone's featured on it. Kind of like how we do the Q&A show on here. Everyone's featured on the Q&A show, like 3 or 4 questions a week. So everyone's involved. It's really cool to be involved in the community. Then we have this thing called "What's in Your Sack." So whenever yo guys, it's coming. You'll see it. So basically, you're on Snapchat, what's in your sack, then throw it on Instagram and build that community.
Could be
So
some
like
interesting responses.
what's in your sack. Hope we don't get no like nut sacks or nothing.
When you said the Q&A thing, I want to touch on that real quick because Zach and I are considering, because we've been talking about doing 2 episodes a week. We might do 1 episode early in the week, maybe like Tuesday, to where it's a shortened version, maybe like 45 minutes, a quick hitter, 30 to 45 minutes, but it's purely Q&A. Because we've been getting a lot of a lot of questions from you guys for the show, but to save time, we've only been answering a few every actual FireCast. But we could answer all of the questions and just knock that out, and that'll be the whole show. It's just nonstop Q&A, and obviously expanding on the answers and not just being quick hitters in regards to answering your guys' questions. But I think that would be a good way to continue pumping out the content and answering your guys' questions in a really intimate way instead of just responding on Twitter that allows us to actually elaborate.
Yeah, that's it too. Because when you respond on Twitter, even Snapchat, like yesterday I was doing Q&A on my Snapchat, and I might send videos or 10-second videos, right? I might just send like 60 seconds with the video. I still don't get everything out that I want to say.
Yeah, we could spend fucking 20 minutes here answering a question if we want to. It's our
Yeah,
fucking show.
It's our show. We do the fuck we want. We'll get off the show. We'll stop when we want to stop.
Exactly. It's the beauty of a podcast.
That's it. So we go ahead and elaborate a little bit more on the questions. Even here, when we're doing a Q&A show in here, like, the reason why we did 2 or 3 is like, we don't want to devalue anyone's question, because we really appreciate the questions, and we're glad you're asking us the question that you
and if you guys go back, if you go back and listen to like episode 1 and maybe even 2, we tried to answer all the questions, and we were rushed in general, just getting comfortable with the podcast, but also we had so many questions, we want to get through them all. They're all quick hitters to where it was like, here, bang, 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 bang. We weren't.
It's almost like we had we had like a dotted list that we had to do each thing. We used to do the podcast. We did obviously we didn't know how to do a podcast. I didn't even research how to.
We had no idea. Dude, we're like, let's just fucking start it. I was like, all right, we'll figure out a way to record it, and then just start it. Just click the fucking record button.
Jay's like, I figured out how to record a podcast. Let's just make it happen. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, we're on this shit.
It's funny. A lot of you guys, like we've talked about before, you guys are like the original listeners, and you guys, I'm sure, can see us progress. I can just see us progress as the podcast go. You get more comfortable and so forth. So it's really cool to watch.
It's something really cool just to know, like, when we first started, we still just use earphones in our computer. We ain't got no fancy ass. Some people worry about starting out at the top.
Yeah.
Like, dude, me and Jay, don't worry. We started clear here at the bottom.
Most people, man, would get stuck at the name. Like, most people wouldn't even be able to start. And with us, it was like a one-day thing. You came up with FireCast. I came up with Young and Hungry. I don't even remember. We're like, fuck, let's roll it. Most people would spend a month just trying to figure out the name. It's like the content is the biggest piece. Obviously the audio matters. That's going to continue to progress for us as we put money into it and so forth. And there's going to be a lot of kinks worked out, but just get started. If you're considering it, just get started, whether it's a blog or whatever. Fuck the name. Who cares? Just come up with something. It's the content that really matters. That's going to be what drives people to your podcast, to your Instagram, to your blog, whatever. It's the content that really matters.
Yeah, fuck, at the end of the day, the name don't matter. We talked about this a little bit before. The dude here owns a chicken place. It's called Happy Chicken.
I love that.
And I'm like, bro, I was trying to get sponsored by him, dude, because it's all baked chicken, so it's legit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, where'd the name come from? He said the same thing you said, Jay. He's like, dude, people think too much about the name. He's like, I just knew I was selling chicken, and I'm happy. So I said, Happy Chicken.
Happy Chicken.
And I'm like, dude, it's so original, but like, I don't give a fuck about the name. All I care about is the food, right? I care about what they're giving, what they're providing.
Yeah.
And just like this podcast. I mean, I think our name's fucking badass. But
hey, speaking of sponsorships, we need to get a fucking Kerrygold sponsorship. So many people have been tweeting me and tagging me on Instagram saying, bro, you need a Kerrygold sponsorship. I could sell the fuck out of some Kerrygold butter. and some Jif peanut butter. If I could get a Jif peanut butter sponsorship and a Kerrygold sponsorship, my life would be complete. I wouldn't need to do anything else in life. So if
I
you
ain't
guys
gonna
are
work.
listening,
I don't have to work no more because I spent all my money on fucking butter and.
oh, dude, I spend a
butter.
lot of money on Kerrygold butter every week. But if you guys would tweet them, somehow reach out to them. Let's figure this out. I need a Kerrygold butter sponsorship.
Tweet them, man. We want them to sponsor the podcast.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is they drop a whatever amount each month, and we'll give a plug, and it'll be a real plug because people know how much I love me some Jif peanut butter and Kerrygold butter.
Dude, so this is a huge business opportunity here, man. So the way I look at it, Jay cooks with this butter all the time, right? And he's a fitness guy. So let's go ahead and reach out to this Kerrygold butter and be like, hey, listen, Jay's gonna give recipes on the episode every week.
Oh, dude, this is real. Like I'm getting actually ideas right now, like maybe potentially reaching out to them in the near future as my brand builds and as our podcast builds. That's legit shit we can do because they're 100% going to be able to sell. I mean, I've already sold a ton of Kerrygold butter to people. I see people tweet me and Snapchat me all the time. And as our brand continues to grow in each of our individual brands, we'll be able to do cool stuff like that. That's
hell
awesome.
yeah!
That's
So what
hype.
I'm gonna do, I'm gonna Google who's Kerrygold Butter CEO is, and I'm just gonna look at the list of people working there, and then I'm gonna be like, shit, I'm gonna reach out to them. I'm gonna look on Twitter. They might have 500 followers on Twitter. I'll slide right in their DMs like, yo, you gotta check out the podcast. We talk about your guys' butter.
Exactly. They're not that big of a company, I don't think. So it's like it's not like a what's a big fucking brand. So it's like a big brand, you wouldn't really be able to reach out and get a hold of someone. But a small company like that, I mean, there's actually real potential there, dude. This is about to get real.
Guys, you might be like, we might hit you up next episode, be like, hey guys, by the way, we're sponsored by Kerrygold
Just
Butter.
nonchalantly drop a plug.
They're paying for our new podcast equipment. How awesome is this?
I'm looking it up right now. Kerrygold Butter, Wikipedia.
Legit, and this guys, it's so funny. This is like, but literally, even though this sounds like so minor and funny, but this is literally how I started my every business I've been involved in has literally just been from an idea like this. I just apply action. At the end of the day, I'm an action guy. So everyone has these ideas, but literally right now, Jay's not even talking because he's fucking looking up who's Kerrygold Butter, who's the CEO of Kerrygold Butter.
Dude, the first picture that pops up on their Wikipedia, it's a fucking
probably you in Carb Life, right?
No, it's a Beetle, one of those Volkswagen Beetles, branded the fuck out with Kerrygold Butter all over it and like grass on it. I could see myself totally driving that.
Dude, I love it. Driving a Beetle.
Yes, if they pay us a little bit extra, I'll brand my car out.
I remember that. It was Punch Bug. So my dad used to play that game. He tried to tough me up as a kid. Every time he see a Punch Bug, he'd punch me. And dude, I'm not talking like this. Like he would slug me in my fucking arm. Right, I had bruises on my arm. I'm like, dude, this is child abuse.
That's hilarious. I remember that shit, dude. With friends, like you be with your homies and you be driving down the road, and all of a sudden somebody just jacks you in the shoulder. Like, fuck, bro.
And it hurts. Like when you're not paying, especially a certain part of your shoulder, dude. You get hit hard. It fucking hurts, man.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
So we find out who the CEOs of Kerrygold is? Did you figure it out?
Apparently, the name of the company isn't Kerrygold, it's Arnua. So I'm going to dig more into this. But
guys, we'll get back to you on this.
Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out.
And once we figure it out, maybe next episode or maybe on Tuesday, we'll drop the guy's Twitter on there. And we're getting a lot of downloads now. Really starting to up the downloads here on the show. If everyone goes and tweets this guy or fucking Instagrams him, we might have a potential shot to get a quick sponsor.
That would be hands down the best moment of my life, I think.
It's going dude, Jay, you could have the. I mean, I like to try the Kerrygold. I've never had it, but I just think having a sponsorship.
You never had it, bro?
Equipment. Nah, man, I haven't. I mean,
oh my god,
I do coconut butter or coconut oil right now. I haven't really done the butter thing.
I'm not a big fan of the taste of the coconut oil. I just like I do MCT oil, which is like an extract of coconut oil. I like that because of the fats. I don't like the taste. But Kerrygold butter, guys, I'm gonna give a quick plug as always, like I do on Snapchat. It is like I don't like eggs. Let's start with this. I don't like eggs. I used to eat eggs just because they're pretty good for you. Just from time to time, I would eat them, but just like veggies, I would take like a spoonful of eggs and then a bunch of water to chase it down. I couldn't actually eat the eggs by themselves. Same thing with veggies. I'm a weird motherfucker. But now with the Kerrygold butter, eggs are legit one of my favorite meals. So it went from being one of my least favorite to being my favorite just because of Kerrygold butter. Sweet potatoes, absolutely unreal with Kerrygold.
So
beef.
Why Kerrygold than regular butter?
I don't know exactly. I know it's grass-fed, which is different than most butter. The bullshit you get at the store isn't going to be grass-fed. It's going to be some processed stuff. So I think it's a lot more natural. But I think it's the grass-fed that's the biggest key. I haven't done a whole lot of research into it, but if we get a sponsorship, you best believe I'll be looking into it more. But
we'll be giving y'all.
Someone recommended it to me. I think it was Matt Lampson. He's a MLS player. He used to play for Columbus Crew. Now he plays for Chicago Fire, I believe the name is. But he recommended it about a year and a half ago when we were at Muscle Farm still, and I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. It was real expensive. My life was never the same ever again.
Never
And
the
I'll eat.
same.
Dr. Serrano, he's another one that actually I think recommended it to someone. And so I got a couple recommendations from people, but he used to be the Muscle Farm doctor, or one of like the formulators. He's a local doctor here in town. He works with a ton of NFL teams. Super high level guy, and he recommends the Kerrygold butter a ton. So if he puts his name to it, it's legit. He recommends eating a bunch of it. I think I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he says it's a really healthy fat for you, and eating it daily is really good. So I'll eat like a fourth of a fucking brick of it every single day. Like I go hard on some Kerrygold butter just for the healthy fats and the sodium levels. So not saying you should
Dude,
do
if
it. That's
Dr.
just what I do.
Serrano, yeah, if he recommends it, I definitely believe in it. Just being around that guy that's at like powerlifting meets at old school, like I'll just like I'll like eavesdrop on his conversations. I'm kind of a weird guy. Like if I know someone's knowledgeable,
Yeah.
like I'll just kind of like be like kind of close to him, but not act like even if I'm not engaged in the conversation,
Yeah.
I just want to kind of like maybe put my butt up against his butt and just listen.
He's so legit,
And
man. It's
just hearing
insane.
the guy talk and about the movement of the body and the certain things he was saying, just it really clicked to me, and I took a lot of things from him that he probably didn't even know. Like I did talk to him directly, you know, one on one. I gathered some information from him, but just from being around, just listening to him talk, I just put myself in that position, right, the right position, the right situation, the right time, and I heard a lot of things he said, which I've actually used in my training and used as coaching now. So just by
Yeah.
being around a guy for a couple hours total, max my whole life.
It's interesting, dude, when you get around people like that are just so high level at the top of their field and they put so much time into it. It reminds me of being around you with regards to powerlifting and strength stuff, being around Dr. Kelly in regards to just functional movement and chiropractic type stuff, being around Corey in regards to all the stuff that he is legit in, and so forth. So it's just one of those guys, man, that just have spent so much time throughout their lives putting all the work in to become the top of their game and be at the top of whatever you choose to do. So
Yeah,
it's always
speaking of
cool.
Dr. Kelly, man, Dr. Kelly's a boss, dude. So he was down in Rio working with the wrestlers. He took the Team Win the Day shirt with him, so that was cool. Shout out to Dr. Kelly for
He's the
doing that.
man.
But Dr. Kelly's a great guy, man. I only met him a few times, right? And maybe like an old school or something, just maybe through social media. And like the guy sees me at Ringside downtown, one of the best burgers actually in the world, downtown Columbus, Ringside Cafe. It's like the oldest bar in Columbus,
I
too,
haven't been
right?
there yet, dude. I have to check that out soon.
Dude, their burgers are
I've
freaking
heard.
phenomenal. It's such a great place. But anyways, he's there. He comes out to me, talks like such a freaking phenomenal dude. So I ended up doing some business with him later on. Got a computer off him and stuff. But such a great guy, dude. Just one of those genuine dudes you just want to be around. And that just goes back to the positivity thing, man. Like this guy is such a positive person.
He's one of the most positive people I've ever met.
You just want to be around him, right? And that's like I think when people are attracted, like, dude, Zach, you used to have this aura about you. Just want to be around you. It's just the positivity that I bring. And I know this kind of answers Mike's question later on, but I know just by every single day when I wake up, even when people weren't looking up to me, I knew that the way I carried myself that day could really change or alter someone else's life. Literally, it's like what's that? When you go back in time, what was that? That movie?
Back to the Future?
Back to the Future. Like you fuck one thing up, you fuck up the whole entire world, right?
Yeah, that's
So you
an
can't.
interesting way to think of it.
So I think about that every single day. Like, dude, if I'm an asshole to the dude, or if I don't hold the door open for this lady and to kind of shut her in her face at the gas station, that could like piss her off and like just a domino effect and piss off because some people are weak. Not everyone's strong minded, right? So holding the door open for her. Good morning, ma'am. How are you doing? Or good morning, sir. How you doing? I don't
Yeah.
do that. I don't fucking work there or nothing. But it's just like common courtesy goes a long way. So at the end of the day, Zach Hummel will never change the world. I say my goal is to enhance the world, to change the world, but I myself will never do it. I need you and the next person and the next person. And it's a pay it forward thing. One small gesture of positivity goes so far you don't even know. I had people reach out to me, dude, that said, Zach, you've totally changed my life. I'm like, just by something small I said, or just one day of doing a Snapchat, I'm like, maybe I didn't have the energy that day to do that Snapchat rant, but I did it anyways, and it changed that kid's life. And that's the reason why I wake up every day fucking resilient. It's for I humble myself down, humiliate myself enough to know that this is not just changing Zach Humble. This could potentially be changing someone else's world. So I take the selfishness out of it. I'm not doing my Snapchat rants like, oh, look at Zach, he's so cool, he does Snapchat rants and he's hype, whatever. No, I'm doing it literally to try to provide some type of value to help somebody out in the world. I can't tell you how many people get, like, I even have people still hate on my Snapchat shit. My sister, those people talk shit all the time, right? But it's like, whatever, because I know that, now I have a lot of people reaching out to me saying how it's motivated and helped them in their life and inspired them in their life. But at first, it might have been just one person. But that one person I knew was going to, create positivity to the next person and the next person. So every time you wake up every day, wake up that resilient desire to just want to be better because you could potentially change someone's or alter someone's life for the better forever or for the worse forever. So you have to decide every single morning you wake up what decision you're going to make that day. Am I going to either create positivity or negativity? There's no in between.
Yeah, I really like that frame of mind and just
That's a motherfucking bomb.
Dude, my mind is blown right now. That was a sick ass fucking little rant there. I'm inspired, but yeah, man, going into it with that mindset I think is really key. Not being so selfish, just thinking like I need to be in a good mood for myself, but being in a good mood to be able to get other people in a good mood and positively affect them. It reminds me of something this guy on these guided meditations I've been doing lately. Like I said, I think a few episodes ago, Headspace is an app I use, and it's the same guy. He started the company. He's the one that actually does the guided meditations every day. And at the beginning, a lot of the practices, he says, start to try to think of why you're doing this, not only for yourself, but why you're doing this and how it can benefit other people around you. I think that's what he says. How can this benefit other people, not just yourself? And like, if I'm in a good mood, I'm really positive, I'm going to be able to help out more people. If I'm in a good frame of mind, it's going to be much more likely that I'm going to actually go out of my way to help someone else, to say something positive to someone, to uplift someone, to help someone in the gym with a certain little tip. So if I'm in the right frame of mind, like that's going to be good for everyone else. Like that's an incentive, and that's motivation for me to try to stay in that positive mindset and always being there. Because if I'm in a bad state of mind, I'm in negative one day and I'm not feeling right, it's much less likely I'm going to go out of my way at the gym to help someone or just give someone a little bit of like a boost, like just, you know what I mean? Just saying, hey dude, you're looking awesome. You're fucking looking jacked. Like something small like that could go a really long way. But if I'm not in the right frame of mind, I'm probably not likely going to say that. So like that again is a really good motivation for me to continue to do my meditation and just be in a good frame of mind in general, not just because it's going to help me, but it's going to help everyone else as well.
That's it, man. It's taking the selfishness out of it. It's basically, it's like, even if you wake up in a bad mood, if I wake up pissed off, everyone has those days. It's kind of like, I think even men have like a mental.
I have them a lot right now with
like,
my low carb.
Like you're fucking high, lows and stuff. But it's like, when you hit those lows, like, just check yourself quick. Like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be in a bad mood today and I'm going to take it out on everybody else and ruin everybody else's day. There's enough negativity in the world. I don't need to fucking feed into this, right? So at the end of the day, how you change the world, it's like, I love Michael Jackson, but it's like man in the mirror. You literally start with yourself. Yeah. When you're ready to change the world, you better start changing yourself today. And it doesn't like the tomorrow shit never comes. Yesterday doesn't matter. I tell guys all the time, it doesn't like, dude, Zach, you're doing so well, or there's big things coming. I don't care about big things coming. I care about today. Because the man you are today is an example for who you're going to be tomorrow. If you wake up today and you're down on the world and you're down, that's going to roll over tomorrow. Maybe I'm at the gym and I'm in a bad mood and I treat someone with a bad mood. So that's the way they look at me that for now on out, right? Mm-hmm. The rest of my life, they could look at me like, well, Zach, the first impression's huge. You know what I mean? So it's always just putting positivity every single day back into the world because there's enough negativity, man. Don't feed into it.
Yeah, 100%. And that just the whole affecting other people and so forth, it goes hand in hand with our podcast here, man. Like that's motivation because we get people all the time reaching out saying how much our podcast has changed their lives, which actually absolutely blows my mind. Like it's so it just very humbling for people to say that. So that's motivation for us to never miss a Friday because people are looking forward to it. People want to hear this stuff and people are enjoying the show. So it's like we don't want to miss a show. We don't want to let anyone down and like. Again,
imagine if we never started
from this. Yeah, exactly, man.
Dude, listen, like we tossed up for so long and we just kind of pulled the trigger. But guys, if you're up in the air on something, like think about this. There's so many people, dude, I get at least 10 Snapchats a day, 5 to 10 Snapchats a day. People telling me that we've changed their life through the podcast, the FireCast here. Dude, if you have an idea, just think about us. Like if we didn't start this, we wouldn't be getting that or we wouldn't be talking to you right now. If there's like any speculation or whatever, that you're just like nervous to start something new, just do it anyways. Mm-hmm. Who cares if 30 people hate on you and you only have one active listener? But if that one person is you're changing their life, that's all that matters. That's going to go a long way.
Yep, exactly. Dude, Kerry Gold has a whole lot of other products. I'm about to go balls deep in some of this other stuff too, like their cheese. But moving on, I've been researching it subtly here.
So this is I guess a mentality I learned from the gym though, man. This rolls right into something we want to talk about today is how the gym has carried over into our real life. So basically this motivation I've had obviously came from the gym. It's kind of what bred me to be this positive person I am because I've noticed that I've been able to enhance other people's lives through the gym and I've been able to roll it over, that positivity and that motivation into the real world. Put it this way, dude. When I go to hire, when I worked for Muscle Farm, I was hiring a demo rep or like even now if I'm hiring an intern, the interview process comes from working out. It's like Corey does the same shit. The guys at his gym are the guys that he hired from Muscle Farm, right? He knows their work ethic. I can tell your work ethic simply by looking at your Instagram page and watching your lifts. If you go halfway up and you just drop it, you don't grind through it, you ain't a fucking grinder. And I'm talking in life too. Look, dude, it's a direct correlation. Corey grinds fucking every single lift if he has to get to his lift, right? Look at him in life. That motherfucker's a grinder. He goes and goes, and he grinds in the gym. Now, if someone's so easy to quit or easy to stop in the gym, what do you think they're going to be doing in life? When life gets hard, what do you think that person's going to do?
Translates directly, man.
It's a direct correlation.
How about the bitches at the grocery store that don't fucking put their grocery carts away? That shit. What up, Ashley?
Jay said, "What's up?" Sorry, the earphones are in. Dude, we got some coffee, and her friend bought this coffee from that little town, Broad Ripple.
Oh yeah,
talking about it, Jay, but it has like how many shots of espresso?
3.
Oh no,
it's called White Zombie. This shit's crazy, dude.
Dude, that shit would have me dead. Like 2 or 3 shots of espresso, I'm about to send out about 15 tweets in a row. You already know. But
dude.
Oh yeah, back to this point. What about the stupid ass people at the grocery store that don't have the time to put their grocery carts away? That shit pisses me off to no avail. Like more than anything, and that right there completely translates to their life. You can 100% tell how a person is. Yeah, they're fucking lazy. If they're not even willing to go an extra 20 feet or less to put their grocery cart away and just leave it in the middle of the parking lot so someone else got to move it, either an employee or someone that wants to park there, that pisses me off so much.
Dude, drives me nuts. So it's so funny now because Ashley has a son. So obviously, like I'm involved. I'm mentoring him, whatever. It's real authentic how we did it. Not like a stepdad role, but me and her really figured out a way to do it. But now, like I people watch, right? A lot more so now with kids than I ever have before in my life, and the way parents mentor their kids. And it's never ever I would say I only have a kid, right, of my own. So I'd never say how to parent a kid. But I can tell what parents are lazy and what parents are hustlers. What parents, and it directly correlates into their life. You know what I mean? If I see most of the time I see these parents who like seem like they got their shit together, their kids got their shit together. Like Crew, you come up to like Crew, that's Ashley's son. This kid, like Ashley's a boss, dude. She got her shit together. Ever since I met her, that's why I was so attracted to her, especially from like she's alpha. She just handled her business. And Crew is like 5 years old, and this dude knows like his times table. He's like, this kid's
direct replica, dude. Kids are direct. Like when you see overweight kids, their parents are overweight.
Yeah,
exact same thing, man.
It's the same thing. And dude, and Crew, like he's active, like he's flexing all the time, wanting to go to the gym. And it's so funny. We're in line at the grocery store. Like I talk about this positivity all the time. He had this before because Ashley's the same way as me. Like wants to talk to everybody. Like she doesn't have an enemy. So Crew's at the grocery store talking to the cash register. I like your hair. How's your day going? So like he's talking like that's how personable he is. He's like that makes that person's day. So that it's distilled in him at such a young age by the people he has to look up to, his mother, father, myself, whoever it is. It's distilled in such a young age, that positivity to be a good person throughout life or whatever. So it's just such a cool thing. Like if you're a parent to know that like now, not only like if you're not a parent like me, like you have people watching, but if you're a parent, like you literally have someone watching you all the time.
Yeah,
like,
that's a huge responsibility.
It's huge. Like so like every move you make is going to like they're going to carry it over. Like dude, I pick on like I want wrestling with Crew and stuff. Like I got to think about like I got to make sure I tell them, hey, don't do this to your friends. Like you can't be going and putting your friends in headlocks and give them noogies. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's definitely like a direct correlation. Like everything you do is that kid's watching. Or, people like now with the internet, dude, everything we do, Jay, is documented. So like if we say so, I guarantee in podcast number 999. I'm going to say something that's going to contradict what I said today. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I did.
Well, that's the crazy thing, dude, with the internet. Like, this shit's going to exist forever. So everything we put on YouTube, everything we put on this podcast, like, people can go back down the road. And that's the biggest thing. Like, people want to come back on you and say, hey, you said this 3 years ago or 10 years ago. But in reality, if you're open-minded, that's how it should be. You should always be changing kind of your stances on certain things. I mean, your key, the way you live, your pillars kind of on how you live, those will pretty much stay the same. But there's going to be small things that shift. Like with me, like certain ideas I have right now with diet might be different, completely different. You know what I mean? Training ideas. So it's like, I hate when people come back and try to say, oh, you said this and now you're contradicting. Like, things change. If you're open-minded, they should change your ideas and so forth.
Absolutely. Dude, I've never met someone who's changed, who has grown from not changing. You have to change to grow. That's just, it's you have to. There's no other way to grow other than change.
You have to be open-minded too, man. Like with these political debates and like social debates, people are so unwilling to like hear the other side. They're so close-minded. It's like
I'm Democratic, so I'm Democrat, so
yeah, exactly. And it's like there's no discussion. I won't even have this discussion. It seems like if someone's so right-wing they won't even be willing to have a discussion with someone that's Democratic or liberal. Like it'll be to the point where they can't even have like a real adult conversation just because they're so set in their ways and they're so closed-minded that they can't even hear someone else's point of view. It's insane.
Dude, 100%. And that's the same thing with like spirituality. People have different, beliefs, and it's like Catholics and like whatever. If people have different beliefs, to where it's just like, I don't pitch that on people. I never pitch like religion on nobody. I just distill it in them. Like I do it a different way than anyone else probably, or a lot of people probably do. It's like, I don't have to necessarily say, go to church or read the Bible. Rather, I just distill some type of positivity in you, or maybe a Bible verse that's connected well with me that I think that could help with you. And you're like, oh, that's a really cool Bible verse. Maybe I'm a little bit interested now. I'm not pushing it on you. Because this is the thing with a lot of people like Christians and Catholics. They want to push. They want to push religion, push religion, push religion. If you're constantly pushing on someone, we want to resent that.
That's where the pushback comes from, because there's so much push, it's going to be a pushback. It just makes sense.
That it's human nature, dude. We literally, if someone tells us not to go out on Friday night, we're going out on Friday night.
Yep. Exactly.
Jay, do you have a cat or something with it? Jay just did a weird face.
I saw on Kerrygold's site that they have recipes, and I kind of jumped up. So much ADHD.
The face yeah was crazy.
All right, man. Let's get into the actual life lessons. I know we started to touch on this because it's funny. Zach, before we started the show, was like, dude, I think one of the topics we should cover would be life lessons learned in the gym and how they kind of transfer over to real life. And I have been kind of writing up some ideas on an article I want to do in the future about that same topic. So it's kind of interesting. We're on the same wavelength. Zach and I do that all the time. Where it's like we literally think we're 300 miles away, and we sometimes have the exact same thoughts. So some of the things that I had written down and jotted down about this topic, and I was going to write about, were these 4 keys here that I learned in the gym and how they transfer over. So the first one is consistency is key. In life, I mean, obviously consistency is going to be huge. The compound effect is playing a role in everything. You got to do the small things every single day. That's going to add up and lead to where you want to be down the road. Same thing in the gym. Consistency is key. Like we talked about on the last show, going in, and people really like this analogy, depositing coins into the bank. Every single day you go into the gym. Whether you had a good work,
that's it.
Exactly. You don't have to have the best workout. You don't have to have a rock star workout every day. You're going to feel shitty at times. But as long as you go in and put that coin into the bank and deposit it day after day, it's going to add up. And like I said on the last show as well, man, like I'm not the biggest dude. I don't have the best genetics or anything, but consistency is how I get ahead. I go every single day and I do something, whether I'm feeling good or not. I'll try to do my best and get the best workout I can in. What up, crew? I can hear crew in the background.
I'm going outside. Crew's hyped up. Crew has wondering if I got any toys. Crew, remember Jay? Say what's up, Jay.
What up, crew? Love it.
Putting that coin in the bank makes total sense.
Yeah.
Think about it. The guys who don't start savings accounts.
Yeah, or
you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever.
If you're looking around in 30 years, like, man, I really wish I would start a savings account and just put $100 in a month because it goes a long way.
Yeah, just like I think we talked about the mutual fund. I have a mutual fund where I put $100 away every single month with my financial advisor. I've been doing it since I was 18. It's at like $7,000 right now. I'm not going to rely on that when I turn 65. I plan on having a lot of businesses that have a lot of passive income. But I'm going to have a couple $1 million in my retirement, which will be kind of just like extra when I turn 65. But a lot of people
hanging around.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even do that, to where they work, they go job to job, they don't put any money away, and when they turn 60, 65, they still have to grind away every day and work like a laboring job. So number one, consistency is key. The compound effect plays a huge role in fitness and in life, and the delayed gratification. The consistency plays hand in hand with delayed gratification. You got to put the work in every day. You may not see the results for months or years, especially in fitness, but you got to have that vision, which goes into number 2. Vision is key. If you have a really strong vision in the gym and you know what you want your body to look like and what you want to achieve number-wise, and also just physique in general, it's going to make it a lot easier to go in there and hustle every day and grind away. Whereas if you don't know why you're going to the gym, you're just going through the motions, you're going to lose motivation really quick, and you're probably going to fall off pretty quick. So vision's key. Number 3 is there's always going to be ups and downs. So just like in life, you're going to have good weeks, good days, bad days, good years in general and bad years in general, but as long as you can,
it's life.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you can survive the storm and those bad days, you still go to the gym and you deposit that coin and get the best workout you can. Like for me, for example, with how I've been feeling lately on the low carb in general, like yesterday, man, I had such a shitty day in the morning in the gym, and I was going to do legs yesterday, and I was like, well, I feel so shitty. I don't think I could do legs today. So I just did bodyweight stuff, but I still put in almost an hour. I think over an hour I was at the gym. and I just did body weight stuff. There was no weight at all, just really light, low rep stuff, and did my best. So always gonna be ups and downs. Just gotta weather the storm. And then number 4 is the power of mentors. I learned that firsthand with Corey in business and in fitness. Mentors are so key to learn, and specific to fitness, like learning the form on everything, learning how to keep the intensity up through workouts. There's so many things you can learn from someone that knows their shit in the gym, and then also in business and life. So those are my 4 keys that cross over from the gym to life, but there's way more even. I mean, the gym teaches you so much, and that's really what has established a lot of the pillars to my life have been in the gym and learning from guys like Corey in there.
Dude, for sure. So the gym has literally made me the person I am today.
Exactly.
It's almost guided me more, I feel like, than it's hard to say. You know what I mean? But it's guided me more than any even person has my entire life. The gym's mentored me more than anything. Starting with consistency. Just being consistent in the gym, knowing I could not miss one day. I've always been working out at least 6 days a week for like years now. I've done 7 days a week. But knowing that every day I put in, just basically you said, put in that coin, that I was going to get to that next level, get to that next level. So I had that consistency. I remember for years, I worked in the coal mine for 3 years. I never missed days ever. I would like take a vacation, but I always had at least 7 days I'd be cashing in at the end of the year because I just would not miss work.
Yep.
For the simple fact that I was consistent. Like, I gave you my word in the interview. Like, the person who I was in the interview is the person I am. Like, when I tell you I'm going to be here every day, I'm here every day for you guys. So once I give someone my word, that's my word. So like, I'm consistent. That came from the gym. My mindset, the mindset of always wanting to get better, wanting to get from a 2.5 pound plate to the 45 to the next 45, and wanting to become the strongest human I possibly can, and hopefully will be the strongest human ever in the world in my weight class. The mindset I have that carries that over, wanting to always get better, carry right over to life. Like, once I opened one business, that's why I have fucking 5 businesses right now and so much on my plate and almost like run thin, run dry, is because I have that. I always want to be going to that next step. It's a blessing and a curse because you're never really satisfied. It's hard. Like we talked about before, for celebrating small victories. We both struggle with that. That's something I struggle with too. But it's really just something where I'm always wanting to get better and get better and get better, and reach to that next level. The next thing is obviously having the motivation every single day to want to get better. The motivation in life to just want to make it to that next level. The motivation I want to help somebody else out in their life, to help somebody else get better. And then the confidence is huge. I know Jay talks about this all the time. His guys, when they start leaning out, how much more confident they get. They're like, he's like, dude, I can see the
like different people.
The confidence in them. Like, so for certain things, like I'm talking to guys, like guys I work with, they're like, hey, I got a raise in my job, or hey, I'm moving up in a company. I know Peter is. Shout out to Peter. We always talk about Peter. He's just always killing it.
He's a boss.
Because he's killing it. He's doing his thing. And, just maybe who knows the role I play in his confidence, that making him a stronger human, which,
a huge role, dude. I think just from the brief conversations we have, I think him in the gym, just the things that he's done in the gym and has his body has progressed, I think have been huge. Yeah,
dude. It's just so cool. There's so many things that we can talk for hours and hours on things that the gym's made me. Just for the crazy almost mindset I gotta have when I'm approaching that bar. The mentality I carry. I carry that with business. I mean, when I'm approaching business, man, I'm killing it. Like, I can't fucking fail. It's like when I'm benching 430 or 460 without a spotter, I can't fail or I'm fucked. Like, that's like the first thought in my head is win. That's all I'm thinking is win, win, win. So I'm approaching business the same way. Win, 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 win. And I've been beaten, I've been defeated so many times, but I've never failed. Because when you get defeated, that's just one battle in the war. All that matters is who wins the war. What happens is some people are so weak-minded, and it's genetics. I think it's in your DNA. Like, a lot of people just don't know how to bounce back from failure. They get beat down, and they don't know how to handle criticism, and they don't know how to handle haters, and just being beat down, being at a low, people can't handle it. There's 2 ways. Your first thought and your first word out of your mouth is what's going to happen next. When you fail, if you're like, man, that thing's been beating me forever, or I'll never get it. Guess what, motherfucker? You're never going to get it. Every time I get beat, fuck it, I got it next time. I got it. Like, whatever, bad day. I give myself a reason to know that next time I'm going to do it. My first thought is next time. I got it next time. You know what I mean? I'm going to handle my business next time. So and then I apply the efforts towards, succeeding next time. It's not like I'll get it next time, and then I half-ass my workouts all week and expect to get it next week, right? I'm going to go and apply the efforts to get better. So in business, you fail. That's fine. I say it all the time. Like, I'm willing to go bankrupt 6 times before I'm 30. Fuck it. Or before I'm 40. You know what I mean? Whatever. But I'm eventually going to make it. I'm going to fail my way to success. I'll be
Yeah.
defeated until I
All
become
that matters
successful.
is how you come out on the other end, essentially,
Yeah,
is
that's
what you're
it.
getting at. I mean, there's going to be ups and downs like we talked about, and there's going to be ruts in the road, and you're going to have off days and off weeks in general. But if you come out on the positive side at the end of the road, that's the key.
Where you start is where you're finished. Like so many guys, it's so funny. I watch guys who are like about my strength or weaker than me. They start out benching 225. They look cool, right? I start out with the bar. It ain't where you start, motherfucker. It's where you finish.
Yep. Boom. All right. Let's do no bitch assness tip of the show before our Q&A here.
Let's do it.
Zach, what you got for me?
Good mornings. I actually put this. So, guys, I'm doing a daily vlog on my YouTube channel, Zach Homol Power, and basically just taking you guys through the grind every single day. I try to do as much as I can. I'm on the phone a lot with conference calls and clients and different things, so I obviously can't record that, but some email and stuff. But just letting you guys in on my daily life, kind of like what I'm doing each day. And I put this on my show yesterday, doing good mornings correctly. So many guys want to do good mornings. They put it really high on their neck, like basically a high bar squat, and they bend over, they bend their back over, and their shoulders roll down. And that's why most guys can do like the 25 or 135 on their back, right? When you're doing a good morning, it's a hinging movement, just as a deadlift's supposed to be a hinging movement. Your shins should stay straight, and your hips, your knees should be slightly bent, and your hips hinge backwards. As you're hinging backwards, you want to think as your obviously your chest will start coming down. But as your chest is coming down, you want to keep your chest elevated, keep your chest raised. So you're keeping that back at a 45-degree
I'm
angle.
watching your video right now. You doing it?
And then so I put it on Instagram. I did like 405 for a triple, which is nowhere even near my best, like 500 for a double.
Insane.
And it wasn't quite as deep as I even wanted. I wanted maybe 2 or 3 inches deeper. But the overload.
So when you say deeper, would you want your hips deeper or your chest? Because I see like your chest,
my chest,
even at the lowest part, is still a little bit higher than your hips. So you'd want your chest lower then?
Almost. I want my chest almost equal.
So your butt wouldn't go back any further.
No, that's about as far flexibility.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. But my hamstrings, the overload I had on my hamstrings there were 10 folds. I barely felt any of it in my lower back.
All hamstring.
The good morning is not a lower back movement, guys. It's the fucking hamstring and glute movement. Soon you learn how to do it correctly. And that's how, you take a little bit low bar positioning. I take about the same low bars I do when I'm low bar squatting, maybe even a little bit lower. And I'm hinging back. And you're going to notice if I drew a straight line with that bar in my shins, the bar is directly over top of my shins. So if the bar would basically just break through my body, it'd be like I'd be doing a deadlift.
Yeah, it's damn close to straight down.
And then I'm hinging back and then hinging the bar forward. I should be able, so when I'm bending down, Jay, I want to get into the position where as I'm getting down, the lowest I'll be, if I put my hands on the ground, I'd be able to grab the deadlift bar.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the position you're going to want to be in when you're deadlifting. So all your accessory movements for powerlifters out there, like I'm talking to guys on Snapchat, and they're doing their accessory movements. They're doing like bodybuilding shit. I'm like, if you're trying to train heavy, your accessory movements have to benefit your main lifts. And the good morning, do it to benefit your main lift and do it correctly. Do it a way that's going to benefit your main lift. And this just came from obviously years of like learning and understanding understanding the game and understanding the leverages. But the good mornings are huge for your deadlift, guys. It can really throw you into the next time zone. Throw you into that next 100-pound mark.
Would that be something you do once a week or?
Yeah, I'll do them I'll rotate them every 3 weeks. So I'll do them for 3 weeks and I'll rotate them out. Okay. I'll do accessory movement like deadlift. I might do them with chains, bands, safety bar squat, or the safety bar squat bar. I'll do it with that. I'll do box. There's like 12 or 15 different variations I do with good mornings. Probably 20 some variations I do with good mornings, which will all be on my Zach Homol Power site. Plug this in real quick. Drops in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, that's dope. Fuck up.
But I have so many fucking accessories just for deadlift or just for the good mornings, like 15 variations that will vary. Like every 3 weeks, we'll do one variation for 3 weeks, and then we might do like a RDL deadlift for 3 weeks. So we're always constantly changing. So yeah, you can throw those in. I don't run an accessory movement, a main accessory movement more than 3 weeks. I rotate it out in my wave.
Got it. Cool.
That's a little bit more in programming. I talk for like fucking 45.
I know, dude. You're
such
a guru on the programming. It's absolutely unbelievable.
How about you? What's your no bitch ass's tip of the show?
No bitch ass's tip of the show is in regards to pull up variations. I posted this on Instagram like yesterday. I posted it many times before, but I always get questions on how do I improve my pull ups. And a lot of people don't even know that there's multiple ways to do it. Like pull ups just one standard way. Yeah. So step one to improving your pull-ups is doing them more often. If you're only doing them once a week or not even doing them every week, then start doing them 3 or 4 times a week. Just doing them at the end or beginning of your workouts. I would say beginning because you have more energy to focus on them. So 3 or 4 times a week, just make it a priority. If that's something you want to improve on, make it a priority. And switching it up. So these are some different types of pull-ups you can do. There's the V-bar pull-ups. You would just use the V-bar attachment you do for pull-downs. You just basically put it over the pull-up bar. And you're going to want to, I come up and touch my nose each time. I know people do it differently. Corey goes side to side. So one rep will go to the left side of the bar and get his head like almost above it. Then the next rep will go to the right side. I just touch my nose on it each time. I like that variation. Really good for your upper back and just mid back in general. And then you got your standard pull up to where you're doing a overhand grip. That's just, again, your standard, what everyone thinks of when they think of pull ups. You can go close grip to hit your lower lats more. I was reading Arnold's book this week. He was talking about really hitting those lower attachments of the lats. And he said doing a closer grip is going to be better for the lower lat width as well. To get that really wide wraparound at the bottom, which a lot of people lack, and I lack myself, you want to do more low or more close grip, which is something I lacked for a while. I would go wide grip all the time just because I thought that was going to widen my back. So I learned that this week. So I've been doing some more close grip pull-ups.
It's also better on your shoulders doing that closer grip. It really leaves a lot of pressure from your shoulders.
It most definitely is. Yeah, definitely. So I'll be doing more of those. Chin-ups, that's another one people think of when they think of a pull-up. I think people get the two confused. A chin-up is when you do an underhand grip. And that is going to work more so your biceps and lats than just your lats. Whereas with the pull-ups, it's pretty much strictly lats. So chin-ups are good. You can do wide grip, close grip. You can do a strict chin-up to where it's almost all biceps. Do those from time to time. Then you get your towel ups. This is something Dustin introduced me to a long, long time ago. And I would say 95% of people have never seen a towel up or they don't even know what the fuck it is. So basically, use a shirt or a towel. You throw it over the bar and you're just going to grab each side of it and basically do kind of like a V-bar pull up with it, but with a towel. And that's going to rock your grip. Dustin really likes it for his wrestlers. It builds crazy grip strength. But it's just another good variation to throw in as well. So that's my no bench tip. Do more pull-ups and keep it varied.
I dig it, man. Yeah, definitely the different pull-up variations is awesome. For the wrestlers, for sure, just making things unconventional, making things hard, pulling movements are definitely cool. It's only going to help benefit you in your sport. Doing functional movements benefits your sport. Think outside the box. If I'm a wrestler, I'm thinking different type of pull movements like battle ropes or like towel fights where each guys that have one towel in their hand are fighting back and forth to get lots of pulling things. So definitely make sure that your training is directly correlated to your fucking sport. So many guys want to do a sport and is like train like a bodybuilder. I'm like, what? Dude,
I would say 99% of high school athletes, because their coaches are so uneducated that all they do is bodybuilding stuff. You know what I mean?
5x5 on flat bench, then incline, they're benching 3 days a week. And I'm like, dude, half of my football players don't even bench that much. We might bench like once a week just because I get their 225, obviously, or whatever for college, call my 185 it is for college. But basically all I do for these guys is all these functional movements. Their bench goes up anyways. They're high school kids. They're only going to, it's always based around powerlifting. Obviously, the core foundation of the strength training. My athletes and my football players are always, and wrestlers are always based around that core foundation. But the blunt of their workout is always functional movements.
Boom. All right, let's
jump into some cues. You cool with that?
Yeah, bro. I got some screenshot here. You got them up as well?
Yeah, I got one right here.
All right.
Wes Bailey, we'll just go back and forth on this day, bring up some monotony. Wes Bailey said, what are both of y'all's favorite non-fitness hobbies or interests? Mine is probably college football.
So Wes said college football. I would probably have to say, I wouldn't say a college football. I would say Ohio State football in specific. Like, I like college football, but Ohio State football is a whole nother level, dude. Game day tomorrow. So fucking hype. I legit get more excited for Ohio State football season almost. I got my kid on Christmas, and that's how it is in Ohio. Like, if you live in Central Ohio specifically, dude, it just runs in your blood. Like, everyone, the whole community, everyone gets hyped. You see flags everywhere. You see people at the grocery store. Everyone's like, go Buckeyes. Like, everyone's got their Buckeye stuff on Saturdays. So that's probably number one. I mean, I really like just being out.
Are they home tomorrow?
Yeah, at home. They're playing like Bowling Green, some bullshit team. But
cool.
I like college football in general. But other than that, I would say just kicking it with friends. I really like being out in nature and just kind of enjoying Mother Nature. But I don't have a whole ton of hobbies aside from the personal development, the fitness stuff, and kicking it with friends from time to time and watching some Buckeye football.
Dude, it's like, I don't know if this is like going to sound sad to people, but I don't know what I do besides fitness really, because I consume so much of my life, and that's what I want to do. So, but one of my hobbies, it kind of sounds funny, but Ashley and I just love going out to eat. Like, we go out all the time. We try new restaurants, and like I just like being out and about. We like doing outdoorsy stuff, so canoeing, different things of that nature. We like being outside. Basically, dude, that's like my other. I don't really have a specific other hobby that I'm doing besides self-development, and I consume so much of my time helping other people. And by the time it's like I have time for myself, it's not time for myself. It's time for for my girlfriend or for my family, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it's like time for myself is fitness. Like this is me. So it's like I really have, the 16 hours to 18 hours a day I'm working is time for myself because if I'm helping other people, but it's what I want to do. That's why I get self-satisfaction from. So
Yeah.
it consumes most of my life, and that's concerned. But that's what I want. Not everyone's like me. I don't expect everyone to be like, I'm not on a bowling team or I'm not on I ain't doing nothing like that. But
I really enjoy traveling as well, and I've talked about this before, and that's one of my passions. And as I get more financially free, I'll start spending a lot more time traveling as well. So that's something I try to do a lot of now. But as I get more financially free and have more freedom to travel, I'll be traveling a whole lot as well.
absolutely, yeah, I plan on doing that's something Ashley and I both enjoy doing is traveling, vacation, like going to the islands and stuff. So that'd be something
Exactly.
I'll always do, especially having the online business.
Yeah,
What do you
no,
got? What's the next
that's
one?
one of the keys. We talked about reverse engineering in the past. Like I know I wanted to travel, so reverse engineered, figured out do online business, and eventually real estate. Next question, Eric Guresco. I believe it's pronounced Eric. He's got an A. It's spelled ARIC, which is interesting. I like it, but I'm gonna go with Eric. How to promote a small family-owned business with Instagram to increase sales? It's a shoe replacement insole company.
Okay, so shoe insole company. What I'm thinking, I don't know much about shoes or insoles or none of that
So
shit,
this
right?
is, I would say, this is where you start because you got to look at who you're marketing towards and who your clientele is going to be, and that's going to be local people.
Right, guys like me who know nothing about it.
Yeah, and people within
So
that
what?
vicinity too.
Right, in that
So
vicinity. So the first thing I'll do on Instagram is basically start putting out like a couple pictures first or whatever videos, and I start explaining kind of what you guys do. Because guess what, bro? I'm not coming because I don't know what the fuck you even do. So why
yeah,
would I come to your shoe and whatever? Like you need to give me a good understanding of what you do exactly, right? So I would get on Instagram and I start promoting it and showing what you do, going through, and you're gonna be able to like people put like, okay, say you're from Indianapolis, Indiana. You can tag that right on Instagram. You click that tag and you're going to see millions of people who have used that tag. Go through, start liking their pictures. That'll help build your page, right? I don't do this for my pages. A little bit with Iron Valley Barbell, obviously because of the business. My personal page, I don't do that, but there's another way to help grow your page. Go through, liking their pictures, just way like, hey, what the hell is this shoe install place? They check it out, you might get a customer out of it. Then I'd be putting videos up, like how to's or showing what you guys do at your business, like almost creating like maybe a story through your Instagram. Like obviously, we'll talk about the Instagram stories in a minute, but like creating a story like each time, like you make a minute video or 30 seconds to a minute video. That's like almost episode 1 for your Instagram. Like this is what we're doing this day. Like have like episodes, like 100 episodes. Keep going and like showing what you guys do and kind of like getting me the customer just to want to come to you because I like you as a person. Like I might even know I need the shoe replaced or whatever. It's like, but dude, this is such a cool family. This is such cool people. Like I want to get involved. Like I so much want to be a part of it. Like
I'm
so
gonna go get new soles in my shoe.
yeah, seriously. So think about that. Like a lot of times it's just about building the community. So go ahead and try to build the community through obviously through Instagram. But I would get as fast as possible when you're growing that Instagram. Like every other post or every third post will be something about Snapchat. And what you guys need to do on your Snapchat is basically vlog what you're doing on your Snapchat. So
Yeah,
do that on your Instagram
document,
story.
like we talked about before. Document over create. You just document what you're doing, turn it into like a reality TV show or some sort. But you're not making stuff up. You're just documenting what's already happening, just in a creative way.
Yep. So what I also do is get on fucking because we talked about YouTube's never going nowhere and how obviously I've been lacking on it. And I think Jay does decent with it, but
Slacking lately.
how we're starting to get better on it. I would be on YouTube and explaining because I don't know if is that a dying business. I don't even know, but I would be explaining what you guys do and documenting it through YouTube and creating that community through YouTube. So you might think like, well, how's that going to help my local business right now? There's no instant satisfaction, so instant gratification in it. But what you're going to get out of it is potential followers on YouTube, which could one day, just by being a cool family and a small, you can show your ups and downs of the business. Don't just show the positives, show the ups and downs, and people get emotionally invested in you. And then it was like some of the most famous bloggers were just people who were just vlogging their like family. They just want to document it. And they put it on YouTube, and now everyone just follows this family everywhere, and they make a bunch of money off YouTube simply because people just they like emotionally attached to this family. So just think about that. That's another way to help just grow your audience, where it could be potentially an online sales, online income, where people could potentially send you their shoes to you and you fix it or whatever the hell you guys do. So that's where you can find it off YouTube too. So be hitting on YouTube. Definitely get that Snapchat game up, because people are going to hit you up on Snapchat like, hey man, where are you guys located? Or hey man, can I stop by? Whatever. You can even I do so much sales off fucking Snapchat. It's retarded. So like think that through too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my advice. What do
So
you got,
yeah,
Jay?
so just you got to build a brand in general. That's what we always talk about. You got to build a brand. I know that it's going to be really hard, honestly, with this type of brand. It's going to be more difficult than say for Zach and I doing fitness and motivation stuff. Like we have it a lot easier building a brand online. But
Because
there's always
everyone's doing it.
yeah,
But
exactly.
here's the deal: if no one's doing that, that gives you it's going to be harder.
Yeah,
But that could be a market that's a market of your own.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
cool
yeah.
to be able to be the first one there in a sense.
Exactly. There's always a way to actually build a brand. It might just be a little bit more difficult. So it starts with building the brand, and that comes with having content. You're going to have to put out creative content constantly and stay consistent with it. Again, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to come up with creative stuff, I would say, for a business that you're only selling to people locally and it's a shoe company, but there's always a way. So just get ultra creative with it, come out with consistent content on Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube. I would say it's going to start with your Instagram and your Facebook, though. Most likely, you definitely would focus on Facebook whereas a lot of people, a lot of the older people, which I'm sure you're trying to market towards, are going to be on Facebook over Twitter, Snapchat. Eventually, they'll be on Snapchat and more so on Instagram. But right now, a lot of the old people are on Facebook. So I say you definitely want to focus on Facebook, have a page, constantly come out with content. Know that it's going to be slow off the bat, I would say. Just kind of expect that. You're going to have to continue to pump it out. Even if you're not getting a whole lot of reaction, a whole lot of engagement, you just need to continue to stay consistent with it. I would say follow Gary Vee. If you don't already follow Gary Vee, he's always putting out stuff in regards to small businesses, answering questions on exactly what we're doing right now. He has a lot more experience with it, though, in social media. He's going to have even better advice on certain things. So follow him and go through.
Dude, Facebook ads. If you're doing Facebook ads,
Yeah,
I'm going to mention
exactly.
that. Make sure you're on those. Dude, that got like 10, 15 people in my gym.
Yeah, well, that's
So
Facebook ads are great for local businesses because you can market towards people in a specific vicinity or geographic area. So once you have your brand, like I said, the first thing you're gonna have to do is build out content and actually have a page that people are gonna want to go to. And then once you start to establish some content, then you can start paying for ads on Facebook. And then once you start paying for the ads, you can really focus it on just a certain specific geographic area, certain age groups, people with certain interests. So there's a lot of things
and
you
you
can
can do
do.
that on YouTube too. You can pick the area on YouTube
And
too.
Instagram. Instagram ads run through Facebook because Instagram's owned by Facebook. So it starts with the building the brand, and then start getting creative with the content, and then start marketing specifically towards certain people in your area.
Yeah, let me go back on that too, man. Don't go fucking throwing ads out on your Facebook page or on your blog. Like you can't be like, I'm sure you guys probably been around a little while. I don't know if you have or not, but even if you haven't, it's all about perception. You gotta make sure you make it look like you have been around for a while, right? So make sure your page is filled up with some good quality content. I'm not talking pictures. I'm talking before and after shit that's gonna provide want me to go there. Think as if a customer has no idea what you're doing. Like when I'm selling someone the gym or I'm selling someone a package, I'm thinking in my head that this person has no idea what they're doing, right? So you need to think of that, that this person has no idea what they're doing, but make sure you have that quality content built up. So when they do go to your page, they're not going, they're looking at nothing. They have blind eyes because everything you're showing them, you have like 3 pictures on there and 2 followers. Make sure you build your page up a little bit before you throw those ads. At least in my opinion, that's what I would do.
Yep. You got Mike's question? You want to cue that up?
Yeah, I got Mike's. He goes, where does Jay keep pulling all these cats from?
I got cats for days, bro.
Jay got 50 cats. How many cats do you have, Jay?
Just one. We used to, back when I was younger, bro, we'd have like 3 at a time, which was nutty. But yeah, just one cat.
That's funny. So actually, he does have a real question too. Where's in a world full of distraction and temptations, what tips do you have for everyone to help keep them focused?
Yeah, man. So, this is something we've discussed many times before, and it plays in with having a vision and strong goals and so forth. I mean, if you have a clear vision, you want to know what you want to achieve short term and long term, and you have those goals set up. There are always going to be distractions and temptations, just like he said, in a world full of distractions and temptations. It's always going to be there. There's going to be times where you fall prey to that. Like I said, there's going to be ups and downs. It's just to be expected. You just got to weather the storm and keep on keeping on. And again, with that North Star and that vision, you're going to be able to get through those rough times and just keep chugging away every single day and chipping away at your goals and your vision. So I think having that strong vision and strong goals are key.
This whole entire world is full of distractions, temptations. What you have to do, at least this is what I do, obviously do what the fuck you want, but going about life, I'm dealt with distractions and temptations consistently. I have to think I have to use my brain. I have to quit acting off fucking emotion. That's the problem with the world. So many people act off emotion. We buy off emotion. We sell off emotion. We have ideas off emotion. We take action off emotion. We talk off emotion. Like if someone makes you angry, instead of thinking it through, we just do it. So if someone's like, hey man, we'll go to the bar tonight. Yeah, yeah. In the heat of the moment, like you're in this little universe with just you and this person. It sounds so great. So you want to go out and get hammered for 3 or 4 nights or whatever, with that person, or attempt to do a drug or whatever it may be. That temptation's there because that's all you see. That's all you see in your world because you're acting off that emotion. You need to take a step back and just think of things more clear. You need to think about your family maybe, or you need to think about your goals or your greater vision. Because your greater vision, your why, what you're doing it for, what you're actually grinding for day in and day out, what happens tomorrow, it depends on today. So you need to think about that every time, temptation comes to you or there's a distraction, something comes up in life. You need to just look at your priorities and say, what's more important to me? Is this distraction more important to me? Is this temptation more important? And see, prioritize like, hey, that'd be cool if I did go and I might have a lot of fun. It'd be a cool experience, but I'm not saying you guys have to live your life either. But at the end of the day, I have to be more goal driven. Your why has to be greater than that temptation, that goal. Because if it's not, if you're so easily tempted and you're so easily distracted, it's simple that your goals aren't big enough or your goals aren't truly your passion. You need to reconsider and refigure out what your passion truly is. Are you forcing it? Are you forcing, like, I want to be a part of the fitness industry because it looks cool, so you're forcing it, right? You can't force it. It has to be something that it's in your DNA, like it's something you truly live for. And if it is, it's a little bit, everyone still gets distracted. There's temptations to happen, but it's a lot more seldom. It doesn't happen as often whenever you're truly passionate about your goals. You can see that greater vision. And when it does usually come up, it's usually just, and if you do, buy into that temptation or buy into that distraction, it's usually because you acted off emotion.
Yeah, exactly. And don't beat yourself up too much if at times you do fall prey to it. It's going to happen. Happens to everyone. Just get right back on the horse.
Short-term memory.
Short-term memory. Get right back on the horse the next day. So cool. Boom. Fucking knowledge bombs for days. Let's leave them with that. Let's wrap this up. I got to take a leak. I've been drinking a lot of water for this cut. So as always, if you guys are on iTunes, if you enjoy the show, give us a review, give us a 5-star rating. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. I promise we're going to get some video content. Zach and I are trying to plan out maybe next week. Both of our schedules are kind of crazy, so trying to line it up. But we'll definitely have a ton of content while we're out in Venice, so I'm sure there'll be some YouTube stuff going up on there. If you're interested in a Carb Life shirt, go to my Instagram. The link's in my bio. I got a little Squarespace site set up for it, so you go on there, you put a credit card in, and I'll have it shipped out ASAP. So appreciate all the support from everybody that's bought a shirt thus far. It means a ton to me. I'm putting a little handwritten note in each one just to show you how much it means to me. I'm not just having somebody else ship them out or whatever, because right now I have the time to do that. So I really I like doing it myself, putting the hand note in there. I know with you have someone else do it because you have more businesses than me. You're a little bit busier in general. So I've been putting a handwritten note in there. So again, I appreciate all the support. Hit me up if you guys ever have any questions. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, JAY_Azeltine. Zach, what you got left for him?
Boom. Guys, hit me up if any questions, obviously throughout the week. Zach Homol Power is my Instagram. Zach Homol is my Snapchat, ZACHHOMOL. Check out my YouTube. I've been growing the channel, get a little look at what I'm doing in my day-to-day life. Zach Homol Power, spelled the same way, just power at the end. Don't forget to swing over to maxeffortmuscle.com to check out some of the content we have on there. See the supplements we have. We have all the everything that's its full disclosure labels, so you're gonna be able to see everything that's in the supplements. You can see it's top, it's not only is the content great, but actually, guys, the supplements are top level. They're top notch supplements. Obviously Corey, Dustin, Clay, John, myself, Travis. We're not gonna come out with something that we think is subpar. When we come out with something, we're obviously all essentially some of the best. We're not the best in our craft, so the supplements are gonna be one of the best, on the market. So definitely check that out. Swing over to ZachHomolPower.com. Subscribe to my newsletter for some updates on the website. And anytime you guys are looking for an IV shirt, win the day shirt, swing over to IVEliteApparel.com. I have a Instagram page for it too. So, hey guys, we appreciate you listening. Like Jay said, swing over and give us a 5-star rating. And we are ready to let's kick the day off, Jay.
Yeah, and stay tuned for the Q&A show. I think we're going to do a strictly Q&A show probably early next week, so stay tuned for that. Other than that, stay young, stay hungry, stay grinding. Peace.
I'll see you, Jay.
Peace.